Hello, everybody. This is Brian and Trish with Are We There Yet? Today is June the 2nd. It's a Monday or Tuesday?
It's Tuesday.
Oh, my goodness.
2 weeks until we leave.
We've been at such a pace over the past several weeks that days are starting to run together just a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking about, I've still got to go out and work in the garage. You're still going to work on some stuff.
And it's probably, 5:30, 6?
I think it's almost 6, yes.
Yeah, I'll be working. I definitely have hours.
So we were eating dinner and having a conversation, and some things kind of popped up in that space that I said, we really should actually stop for a second and capture this. For one, it's June the 2nd. And I think we're watching this thing slowly get to a head as far as the departure date and all the things that need to happen. And so the time is condensing and trying to do all the things we're trying to do in that space. We're feeling it. Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like it's, well, you probably do because you're doing a whole thing out there. But
yeah.
I feel like I'm in the hurry up and wait where I'm just being held. Like,
there's
only so much I can still do, but it needs to be done, but I can't do it because it's not time or it's not the right order. So that's where I am. I think you're in a different place because you have the thing you're trying to do.
But that hinges on other things that need to be done. So like when I finish building the camper, then I clean out the garage. And so it's like, I'm on this snowball thing of I've got to get the first done before I can go forward.
Same for me as far as like I see the garage, I see the need, and I know the end result has got to come. Like the garage has got to get moved properly into storage, but all I can do is see it. I can't do anything about it, and it's making me a little crazy.
Same. So,
sorry.
No, I wanted to kind of just stop in that space because, well, two things that come to mind. One is I was listening to an interview where a fellow was talking about, and I say a fellow, I'll give you the details later, but he was talking about the 6 geniuses. And Trish and I both were kind of talking about these and figured out our own and then sent it out to the kids to get some of their feedback. And it's really interesting what we got in that space. But one of the things that's a genius of Trish's, or one of your top level things, is tenacity.
It's definitely not a thing I don't get energy from. It gives me energy.
So if you're not familiar with the idea of the 6 geniuses, it's things that you are uniquely skilled in relation to, it gives you the greatest joy when you're doing that thing. Mm-hmm. So you have typically 2 things that are your top. You have
gifts.
Yeah, your gifts. There's a couple things that are in the middle range, and there's
competency.
And then there's some that you really struggle with. Like you can do it, but it's maybe something you actually labor against.
And you have to remember that when you're figuring out which of those are your gifts, that you're not judging yourself based on, am I capable?
Right.
There's lots of things I'm capable of doing,
but you don't
that I don't
love.
Just super duper love. Just because I'm good at it doesn't mean I like it.
Right. And I like to get an A on my test. So when I'm going through, I'm always, for one, I'm checking everything and seeing if they're trying to trick me.
Right, because they are.
They are. And then the other thing is I want to get an A on the test, so I'm constantly, but if I answer it this way, do I get an A? And if it says I'm not good at something, does that mean I didn't get an A?
Right.
So with that, the different geniuses, and I'll just read over this real fast, are wonder, invention, discernment, galvanizing, enablement, and tenacity. Now, we kind of knew quickly a couple of mine.
Definitely your gifts were wonder and invention.
Yes.
Period.
So that's just where I'm at on the top side. So
that's where you're energized. That's where you could go and never stop. And
I would be completely thrilled with those things.
Right. And I definitely think your competencies are in that people area of galvanizing and enabling. Is that right? Where it's like you're inspiring people, you're leading, you're teaching.
Yes.
You're certainly highly competent there, and I do think you get a bit of energy from that. Not the highest level.
Right, but we talked about what's interesting with this is sometimes our highest gifts fuel
the competencies.
Yeah, the competency. So like I'm a teacher and this is what I've always done and I've known of it as a gift. But what's interesting is that's not a primary thing for me. It's something I do well.
It's fueled by your imagination and your creativity.
Right.
And you want to share that. It's the place where you can share these things that fuel you.
Right. I get to express or work in those spaces. And what's funny is the thing that I've always prided myself on is my ability to get things accomplished, which is tenacity. Yet this is the funny thing in this space is it's work. Like when I'm having to push through to make something get done, that's not the thing that I get excited about.
So Brian tried to talk to me about this and introduce this concept early this morning, that is a challenge all its own. Me taking in a barrage of information early in the morning, but it's about human behavior, so I super loved it.
Yeah.
And immediately, as soon as I read the description for each of them, I knew what your top two were. I knew that you were going to say, also, I'm an omni. They're all good. And I knew that we could drill down on it. And I thought tenacity would be at the bottom for you, which surprised you at first. You're like, wait,
right.
What do you like? Because I think you thought that was me judging your ability
to get things done.
Yeah, to get things done, and it wasn't. It's not your focus.
No,
the completion, the finish line is not the place where you're like, oh my gosh, I could do a finish line every day. Right. No, that's not.
Yet, here's the funny thing. Is you could just about take my list and turn it upside down and it becomes Trish's list. So Trish, what were the things you discovered about yourself as we kind of went through this?
Wonder and invention. Invention? Is that the word? It's W&I.
Yeah, wonder and invention.
I would rather stick needles in my eyes. There's no structure to that, and it's not where it actually takes the life out of me. I'm not good at it. I try. Like, in certain formulaic conditions, which points to my gifts, which is like I think mine were discernment and enabling, because those were my two. Yeah. And I really thought that it was hard to decide whether tenacity would be in my competencies, because
she does like a list and loves the ability to check it off.
Done. Like it's a big one for me. So I still think that might be in my competencies.
I would agree.
Or gifts, sorry. I don't know.
It's one of the two, definitely in the top two for you. And however it organizes itself out, it's still a primary, because you so are driven with that notion of checking it off and having that list.
It's
like
super important.
You will actually go write items on the list so you can check them off.
Well, first thing this morning we're talking about this, and I had already been over the list before I even made words come out of my mouth. I had already opened my list, started looking at what needed to be done, and then when we were done talking, I remembered something I had already done this morning before I even looked at the list, and it's not on the list, so I put it on the list and put a check mark beside it because it makes me feel good and I like it. When the pressure's on, that just helps me. It just energizes my effort.
Now, what's interesting in this is kind of leading to the conversation we were having, and I said we need to pause because I think there's some meat to this. You already know, if you followed any of our stuff, that we're in the process of leaving on June 16th. We're going to hit the road, actually drive to Charlotte, get on an airplane, and fly to Europe. And that's going to actually launch us into the next 3+ years of travel.
That's the thing I'm trying to describe to people when they're like, well, when are you leaving? And I'm like, which where are you going? And all that is like, a lot of people assume, oh, you're going on like a long vacation. And I'm like, there's a little more to it in the stress factor that needs to hold weight for people to measure. We are leaving our home.
Yes.
We are not leaving it as our home. We are leaving like a home. It is not this place. We will not come back. Right. We are leaving.
Literally every possession we have will either be
in storage
or in our car. And when you're seeing around, of course, we're looking around this room and I see things.
It might sound more echoey now.
Yeah. And so one of the things, like the dining room table, that's going to go with us. There's a few pieces of furniture that's going into storage. Yeah. And there's a few things like the couch we're sitting on is literally being given. So this is the thing, is leaving is not just going on a trip. It's literally leaving.
Not coming back home.
So we in our 50s are becoming digital nomads.
Oh, that's so cute. Digital nomads. That's what I was going to say.
You're going to say homeless.
Technically homeless. Technically homeless.
One of the things that Trish and I were talking about is part of her gifts and part of the things that really drives her is going to be being able to have a finish line, to say she's completed something. And so the challenge with this ahead of us, as exciting as it is, because we've got a whole bunch of finish lines along the way, is where does this end us up?
Right. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, and that actually ties back into the "Are we there yet?" Which I think is so fitting for our life, for this thing that's a driver for you, and trying to get to the end when there's no definitive on the backside.
Because it's not a finish line.
Right. We literally do not know.
Yeah, we haven't decided what the finish line is yet. Like, we just don't know.
And there's a part of me that's full of wonder and, this is all exciting.
You're totally jazzed.
Yeah, because I'm going to get to see and experience new things all the time. And so my brain is on fire with that concept.
I am excited to get to do those things, but it's different than yours.
Sure.
It's just different.
So I think this is part of the dynamics of, here's two individuals who's approaching the exact same thing, but in totally different perspectives.
Completely different.
And we're going to have the most fun together. But I think that's something worth taking just a moment and mentioning, because this is life, and this is the part of when you're on a journey together, in relationship and life and experiences and things, it's not just your perspective that's the only one. And I think about that in relation to, I like to glean from Trish, her perspective when we're experiencing something. Like, what did you like about that? What did you see? And we could be looking at the exact same thing, but I've realized you're seeing it totally new and fresh. And it's that thing we just talked about of, how does anybody know that color red is actually the same color red?
That it looks the same to you as it does to me. We all call those wavelengths that are the same red, but what does it really look like to you?
Right.
Yeah.
So
we talked about something else too, because with wonder and invention, that, and me being a discerner, that's definitely one of my gifts. I think big time. That's definitely it. And it can and you definitely, of the yin yang, you're the bright and the white and the light and the positive and the hopeful and the should guy. And I will shoot holes in every single thing that comes across my path, because I want to be sure. I want to make sure I'm not fooled. I want to make sure that I am not foolish.
Sure.
I want to be wise. I want to be a good steward. But that can be a super duper killjoy for somebody with wonder and invention at the driving.
It really does it, because you work as a counterbalance. Like, you become a safe space for me to explore my ideas. We've talked about this. We're both a safe space to explore.
Right.
And I give you freedom to play. We've talked about that before.
Which is a big deal for me. Huge. Which, of course, first ingredient is safety. We've talked about that.
Right.
But I appreciated when I brought that up this morning. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm the thing that, like, you're excited and you have all this energy over this new idea and you run it by me, and I'm like, that's cool. Also, did you think about this part, some of the technicalities or the weak points as far as whether it succeeds or fails? Because also, a driver of mine is ultimate goal meeting and success of an idea. And to you, the energy's in the discovering and the exploring. It really doesn't matter if it doesn't work.
Well,
I mean, it matters.
It does.
But
So I have discernment as one of my higher in the middle range. But I definitely come at it from a different angle. Yeah. And there's definitely a more optimism. I think life has an ability to beat down some of the golden glimmer on everything. But there's definitely a more optimistic perspective I bring to the table when it comes to looking at things, because I'm always looking for ways to make it better. I'm looking for ways, like, I can follow a recipe one time and then it's going to be different every time after that.
And the idea of trying to reinvent some different angle to come at making pasta. I'm like, it's been invented. I can't.
And several of the boys have
I love it.
similar vibes. And so this is really interesting. And I think this is one of the some great stories there with Wes and Trish in the kitchen at the same time.
I love that the boys, some of our kids that have answered, actually, all of our kids that have answered, it sounds like definitely one of the guys is right on track with you.
Yeah.
So far, SJ and Gabby are very similar to me. That's really fun. I know Nick's going to be so much like you. It's going to be crazy.
He probably will.
Anyway, it's just interesting to talk about these things. And again, here Brian and I are having a discussion about stuff that would normally... I've seen people in relationship, either like a love relationship or just friendship, really have a hard time with differences and discussing those without getting their butt hurt about it or feeling like territorial and right fighting about things. And I had a little glimmer of that this morning when I almost felt apologetic to you for how I am. I'm like, oh gosh, do I just ruin all your fun? But we talked about it, and it's like, no, just the same as you bring the safe space for me to do things I'm not good at, the playing and the imagining and the inventiveness, and I like that. And
you're actually, even though it's not one of your great strengths as far as, excuse me, even though it's not one of your great strengths on the category of what drives you, makes you excited, you're productive and you have fun in it when you're given freedom to do so without judgment. I think that's important.
You teach me how to do that. It's not even that, I haven't done these things because I haven't felt free to, or I haven't felt unjudged, or I haven't felt safe to do this. It's like, I literally don't know how. And you've literally taught me. You've had to teach me, no, this is the point. It's not to get it. It's not the painting. Right. And I thought it was a mission to be accomplished. And if I can't do it and do it well and do it right to completion, I thought I was doing it wrong. I just literally did not know how to do just free flow stuff.
It makes me think of when we've talked about the trip, and we've talked about what our future home might be, and you're like, is this daydreaming?
I'm like, is this what dreaming is? What is this? But fun fact, gone. It's gone. I can't. We've said this how many times in the last few weeks. As we get closer and closer to truly leaving our home, not coming back and going on an exploration, which, hello, 52, doing something like this against my whole entire
because you're
nature.
Cool like that.
It's just cool. I mean, I'm proud of myself, and I'm genuinely excited about it. It's not like I'm gritting my teeth. I'm really excited about it. But the image or the notion of a dream where we're landing or what it might be like or where it might be or what we might like, it's gone. I don't see it.
The are we there yet truly is a question.
And it's definitely no. And I don't even know where there is anymore, except right here. That's why it's also, are we there yet? Yes. Because also why I can go and do this thing is because I've got home with me.
Right.
Not to be cheesy, but it just is our existence. This is how it feels.
It truly does.
And so you were asking me, how are you going to manage those strengths that will be challenged, and when they're not, the strengths aren't exercised or able to be exercised in the way that I'm comfortable with while we're doing this totally different thing.
Right.
And speaking of tenacity, kind of not having a goal
line
accomplished, well, they'll just be little tiny increments. It's like, now I've seen Cincinnati. Now we've been a month in St. Louis. Now we did it. Check, housing for March of next year is now secured and paid for. Check this. It's the part of this I have loved is all the admin and the planning and the taking care of it.
Right.
Nailing down all of it. That's why this part has been great for me.
There's been so many checklists with this thing.
Oh, it's gotten out of control. Not out of control. It's very controlled, actually.
Oh, it's very structured, very linear. You would be so excited if you're analytical and like a checklist to see the structure that Trish brings to an equation.
And it...
I mean, like the boxes all labeled nicely.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
It's beautiful.
And I have got pictures of, you took pictures when you were organizing and laying all the boxes out in the car to see how to fit it and organize it.
This is the part where I go crazy, I'm sure. I've said it a million times. That throw the oh yeah shoe or oh yeah whatever in the back of the car at the last minute when you're going on a weekend trip.
Right.
I just need a container. And you might see the car as a container. And I'm like, that's a big container for a tiny thing. Like, how am I going to put my hands on those tiny things? Which this morning we were looking for a nail clipper. I knew where it was. Yeah. And I had forgotten that I had squared myself away and put two. One in the place that is labeled for it, and then an extra in the box that contains the place that is labeled for it on the edge of the box so you can see through it because our boxes are clear. So I keep finding how these things have gotten squared away. It feels so good.
Yeah.
It'll help us when we move frequently because everything will have a box home or labeled whatever. So when we got to clear out of a place, we're not forgetting something or it's not, I don't know.
I think it's really cool.
So all these tiny accomplishments, I think, when we're on the exploring phase of this.
Right.
Because I've gotten to scratch my itch for a year now, getting things lined up and nailed down and planned and dates on the calendar. And we sit together and I've gotten to do that. Now it's going to be your turn for the exploring and the new.
Well, we've already been doing the exploring before we even hit the road because we've spent so much time watching videos and reading stuff
and
about
going
the location.
places even.
Yeah.
You know, talking about our time in different places and yeah. I want to say one thing just because it cracked me up. I'm not saying names because this person will know who they are. But one of our kids answered in the funniest way. One of our kids put it like, these are my top two, these are my middle two, these are my, please don't make me do that. And another one of ours definitely had very similar answers to myself and the first child that did 222. But this one,
the wording is great.
it is so good. One of them, she labeled the name, you know, like it's WIDGET. W, not my favorite. I do not like a blank canvas and starting from scratch. I need an idea already in my mind. I felt like that came out of my soul. I have never felt so connected. I'm like, yes, that. This one, I love that. G, this sounds terrible. That's all she said. This sounds terrible.
Okay, so just for those who don't know, the words are W is wonder, I is invention, D is discernment, G is galvanizing, E is enablement, and T is tenacity.
So this kid said G sounds terrible, and G is you love getting people excited, organizing launch meetings, and cheering the team on to move an idea forward. That also is very low for me. It's a place I have actually failed in life. That it was my job, and I'm like, it should not be my job to tell you how to have fun.
Right.
That's not my job.
Any other points before we wrap this video up?
Did we have a point? Did we hit it? I don't remember. What were we going to talk about?
Really, I just wanted to address, number one, that this is June 2nd. And we literally have how many days?
14. We take off right now, 2 weeks from now.
Yes. And before then, we'll have finished packing everything up, putting it away. I hopefully will have the camper built or put into storage somewhere. And then we get on a plane. We fly out of Charlotte.
I wonder if anyone can detect what might be a thing right now.
It just has to happen, so.
Right.
So the question is, every time, are we there yet?
No. And also, yeah.
But I think that's the key is you're always on a journey. When you stop traveling, in the sense of, I don't mean going to a destination, but when you stop growing, when you stop exploring and finding new things, when you stop having the possibility of you could be wrong, you're done. There's nothing else to add to it. And our goal is to stay green and keep growing.
Right. So, how are we going to ever settle down?
Settle down?
No, I don't know about that. But how are we ever going to fix ourselves when we seem to just want to be moving and evolving and growing? And how will such a big fixture feel? Will it feel like prison?
No, I don't think so. I think because the way we approach life is we're constantly learning and growing and looking for new things. We were talking just before we started recording about this place. So we've rented this house now 6.5 years. And what's interesting is because we were renting and because we knew that at the end of 6.5 years we were leaving, this was a place to stay. And we made it home, but it was never our home. So we never really made it like fully personally ours. And so I think this is one of the challenges that we're going to have a little bit on the road is it's none of those places are going to be ours. So there's going to be a little bit of a wonderment aspect to it of we don't necessarily belong in each of these places.
Right.
But I think we're going to, the same as we've done here, we make connections, we're going to engage, we're going to...
Yeah, the people have been our home.
Right.
Like the people are our home.
Right.
Yeah. I just wonder if we've forgotten how to do it. Not the people, the place, the making a home. I feel like...
I'm willing to learn.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
I mean, we love to do things. We love to make things. We love to get out and dig in the yard and grow things. And so, except for here, we've had rabbits that literally have chewed up our gardens before and ground that sucks and does not grow anything.
Definitely.
Except for bamboo, which I hate bamboo.
Yeah, this is going to be crazy.
So again, this is Brian and Trish. And we've already answered the question. We're not there yet.
No.
But we are in so many good ways. So next time I post or do a recording, we'll be getting closer. And hopefully I'll be able to show you a finished camper, a cleaned out garage, an empty shell of a house. And shortly thereafter, we'll be hitting the road. So, see you guys.
Bye.